Welcome to the Marketing for the Culture podcast, powered by the African American Marketing Association. Each week, we'll bring you an insightful conversation from some of the best experts in our industry on how to advance our career. Join the collective of Black marketers across the world advancing their brand as we work towards creating a collaborative community.
Welcome to another edition of the Marketing for the Culture podcast. I am your host, CL Palmer, aka CL Pod Gang, and I got with me Michelle Gomez. And today we are going to talk about who is winning in 2021, and we're also going to mention the Travis Scott Astroworld incident, and we're going to talk about the business side of that as well. And we might have a time for a couple rants and raves because I got some things I want to get off my chest, not even business related, but you know, I'm in front of a microphone talking and I need to get this off my chest. So we're gonna see what it do. I'm not gonna say what it's about because might not get to it. But anyway, as always, on the other side of the Zoom screen, other side, straight out to H-Town, you know, the Braves going ahead, did that thing. So hopefully she's still in high spirits this week. None other than Michelle Gomez. How you feeling? Here. You good?
I was good until you mentioned the loss.
I mean, we took a week off. You know, we took a whole week to have a moment of silence for your Houston Astros.
I know. The Houston sports teams are it's not it right now. And I have tickets to the Rockets game tomorrow, which is kind of crazy, but you know.
I'm like, I don't even know who's on the Rockets anymore. Like, I have no clue. Like,
Other than Jalen Green, because, you know, he was, number one, number two draft pick?
I'm like, I still got John Wall. Like, he ain't get... Nah. Like, I literally have cut my basketball off. I'm ready to watch again, but...
The Texans ain't winning. So we kind of...
I mean, they got a whole nother situation on their hands. Yeah.
So that's why the Astros in the World Series was such a big deal.
I mean, I could see that. Y'all definitely needed some sports morale.
In the meantime, I podcast. Yeah. No, but all is well. All is well here. So as stated, I am in Houston. Most of y'all know that. I guess we can just start off the news. We didn't necessarily plan it this way, but Travis Scott, he's from Houston, Missouri City, which is literally 15-20 minutes south of downtown Houston, if that. And he had his annual concert, Astroworld here. Is grown. So was it at Astroworld? So let me give you some history. Astroworld is what we call Six Flags back in the day before Six Flags left. So he would perform the concert where the old Six Flags was, but now it's grown. So it's across the street at NRG. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. So it's 50,000 people in attendance. I looked it up, obviously, after the event. Ticket prices were $350 for a 2-day festival. And then they went up to $1,000 for VIP. So easy math, that was $17.5 million, right? $350 times 50,000 people. So unfortunately, as of today, 9 people passed away from that. So may those souls rest in peace, and
absolutely,
God protect and preserve those families the best way possible, as well as I've heard different stories. Between 100 to 300 people were injured. So it was just definitely a sad couple of days in Houston. The concert was on Friday night. It was supposed to be Friday and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And I just woke up to a bunch of news and text on Saturday. So it's been crazy. It's been sad. And then I guess what continues to linger as of today, the 9th person passed away. So it's like, you know,
it's right back at it.
It's like the news is not going to stop. But we wanted to kind of talk about it from the business perspective. That's why I mentioned the possible revenue, the revenue.
Yeah.
That
I mean, when you said that, I was like 50,000 attendance, 350 a pop. I'm like, oh my gosh, like for a festival, as let me say that over, as Travis Scott is someone who is headlining his own festival, that is a lot of money. Like, this isn't a organization, this isn't some magazine, this is Travis Scott.
Right.
And that's a lot of money for just a solo act.
Right. And I mean, he had a good lineup. He had with the Roddy Ricch, Master P was there. This is out of order. I think Earth, Wind and Fire was supposed to perform on day 2. So it was like an interesting lineup, nonetheless. But yeah, for him to be the creator, I mean, and it's crazy because I've heard his name for at least since 2012. And his fans are just, my friend says his fans are in a trance. They probably woke up this weekend, but his fans are something else.
Yeah, and Travis is someone that I would describe as a vibe master. He sets the energy wherever he goes. And, of course, if you've actually listened to Travis Scott music, it's a lot about doing drugs, and what I would call the zombie category of drugs. They don't really, kill you per se, but they definitely have you in a trance or seeing things, tripping, whatever you want to call it. And that right there is dangerous, but it's part of the culture in music. And unfortunately, with this newer generation, we're a little bit older. We knew people that did drugs, but now like drugs is kind of the thing to do a little bit more. It's a little jarring about some of the stuff that I'm hearing about them. But Travis has a reputation for having rowdy shows, and it was of course brought back up in the news that he was arrested 2 times for basically inciting a riot. I know one time was in Chicago, where he was telling people to get closer to the stage and get past the security and the barricades, and it's like, nah, bro, you can't do that. And I think that's what's really going to hurt Travis going forward, is the fact that his reputation is so public and it's in line with what just happened. And you're telling me that if you're the one in charge, you're the one with the name on the marquee, then you got to make sure that all the security is on the up and up. You got to make sure everything is straight. Like, it's a lot more, but I feel like, and I'm gonna say this carefully, and I guess you can respond for this, but I feel like people in Travis Scott's position will honestly take the security for the event a little less serious, even though he knows his crowd can get rowdy. I don't think, and it's this, and I'm just gonna speak from a personal experience dealing with Black people. I'm gonna just say it. I'm not even gonna do any coding. That we will leave some things off so we can net a little bit more on the back end. That extra tough security might cost you $1 million a show. And there's some guys who are pretty much the same, but they're not all military guys, so their cost a little bit less. And it's like, you can have this handled, but you could just like, man, we could save that little $500,000 and keep that. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of part of our fabric. That's how we kind of do things. I hate to say it, but I've been at events. I've seen it. It's like, yeah, I should have spent a little bit more on security. Y'all knew who was coming to town. And I know that's like hindsight. As my man Cam Newton say, hindsight is 50-50. But it's definitely something that I always think about on the front end. Now it looks like, of course, after the pandemic, we're still getting to the point where we're having big shows like this. And I'm not sure, like, we haven't heard of too many incidents before this, but this might have been like the biggest thing you've ever done. And I've seen the Travis Scott Netflix documentary, and he's very detail oriented.
Okay.
So that's why I'm just like, I feel like it's a little mix between him kind of focusing more on the show, and then the business people just not making sure that we had the top flight thing. And I just kind of wish, maybe he would have had a little bit more focused on that. It would have been great, but it is what it is. I know like I said, I'm saying this on the front end of things, but that's just where my mind goes. Like, I just think about how Black people do things, and I just hope that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it pains me because I do feel like there's multiple people to blame from the top down, from the bottom up, right? In the sense that, yes, he is an artist, and people say he's on stage and he can't see because of the lights, but then he did stop the show at one time. He didn't stop the show at other times, or just stopped the show completely. And my thing is, the tickets sold out within a day, within
That's
hours.
Crazy.
Right. So with the tickets selling out so quickly, you had ample time to prepare for these things, right? And they said they had like 1,500, I'll say, security. I don't know if that's private, HPD, Houston Police Department. I don't know what the mix is, but I heard one of the numbers I heard was 1,500. I heard the paramedics were privately owned companies, which is all about the dollar bill, and who knows what that training is like. I've heard
most paramedics are privately held companies, which is the craziest thing about it. Like, there's no paramedic from your county that's operating. Everything is privately owned. But don't get me started with that. Continue.
And so that goes back to the training, right? In preparation, because some of the incidents that happened while trying to save people was horrible, right? Because there's going to be lawsuits all over, flying everywhere, from the artists, live entertainment. And one thing that came up today, I actually read it this weekend, but like a lot of things online, when we purchase, we don't read the terms and agreement, but we click on it so we can confirm our payment and move forward. And in the terms of agreement, it does say that you, the individual, the ticket purchaser, ticket holder, you assume the liability of anything wrong, right? Or you waive any liability towards live entertainment regarding any type of negligence, personal injury, and death. So I know people are going to be wrapped up in lawsuits or litigation for a very long time, to the point that they're going to settle. I used to work at a personal injury law firm, so I've learned some things there. But it's going to be a really nuanced case on the private sector as well as the city/county, if there's blame on that, and then some of these vendors as well. So yeah, it's gonna be bizarre. I don't like, Saturday we saw the Facebook ads.
Oh, they was going nuts.
Yeah, from law firms, civil suits. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. This is going to be like in one of these MBA case study books, in business books, in the next 3, 4, 5 years.
Right. And I know I've heard about like a Rolling Stones concert that happened back in the day where like 5 people died.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to bounce back from that because I think it wasn't their festival, but they were headlining type of thing. And so this one it hit like at the wrong time and age in history for one. And I guess I want to talk about Travis going forward because right now streaming is not the main source of income. It's shows and it's merch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's endorsements. A la, McDonald's Travis Scott deal.
They just
a la the Fortnite deal.
They just took his music out. Mm-hmm.
Like that hurts. And it's like, you know what? That wasn't even his fault. Like to like if we're gonna like keep it a buck, you set the tone for the room, and that's kind of the tone for the room. But he was in charge, and that's the problem. That's what hurts, because his business is gonna be all messed up. Like, how is he gonna be able to really make money besides just the music? Because his whole brand is energy. The whole brand.
Also, he released a song. He released a song on Thursday or Friday.
I saw that.
So I'm pretty sure he was going to have an album drop probably on Sunday or Monday. But because day 2 was canceled, I'm sure whatever new music, I'm assuming, because he had a new song, I'm assuming he was going to drop an album. I don't think Travis Scott should release any new products or services for the next 2 years. At least the next 2 years. No music, no merchandise, nothing. Don't show your face.
So what, you just got him living off his baby mama?
Yep. And some dividend checks from these investments. I don't think he should do anything as far as new products, music, merchandise, promotions, nothing for 2 years. If you're on social media, you need to be holding your baby's hand. We need to see the new baby coming out.
Yeah. You can see a lot of family pictures. Yeah, definitely. I don't know.
I think he can recover.
I think he can. I think what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to get with a very, very, very savvy PR firm. Because there are things that you could do. Now, in my head, I'm just like, he might need like a grand gesture.
I mean,
something out there. Get involved with some.
He's taken the initial steps. He said he was going to cover the funeral costs. He's providing mental health services for anyone that attended the conference. I mean, the festival. And I'm sure he's going to do some other things. And that was another thing, like leading up to the actual festival, he had community service projects going on throughout the week. So he does a lot for the community. I have to give him credit for that. Like, I didn't know if they called him that, but yes, he is a hometown hero, right?
Yeah.
So his community service, he's already doing that. I can say that as, a person that lives here. I know people outside of Houston may not see that, but I want people to know that's something that's, I'll say, innate. He's already doing it. So if he does anything else, it's nothing new per se, right? But I think I was talking to my brother about this the other day, and the reason why I say he shouldn't do anything for at least 2 years, because I feel like when Chris Brown got in his incident, he spoke up too quickly and he fumbled where he should have just been quiet a little bit longer before, he moved forward with his career. And I would hate to see that happen to Travis Scott. So that's why I think he should at least keep quiet for 2 years minimum. And this is a perfect time to start because it is the holiday season.
Yeah, I would say it's easier said than done.
True.
Only because the thing that Travis does, I think, better than most artists, and some people will probably want to fight me when I say this, but he's a great curator. When it comes to sound and placement, to me, even, and just not to get off too much into it, but when I listened to the Astroworld album that came out a couple years back, I felt like he was getting people to do stuff that they did best, and it was a fun listen. Now, some people will have, their criticism about having it like a monotone type of feel because it's Travis Scott. We're not doing any big band, we're not getting real instrumentation type thing. It's all vibe, and I understand that going in, so that's what I'm doing. But somebody who likes to create like that, it's going to be hard for them to just do stuff and just sit on it.
But keep in mind what I said. No new music, right? He can do that for other people. He just can't.
So you're saying he could do features?
No features. No features.
I say, like,
he can't do features, but if he wanted to produce, consult, curate anything behind the scenes that will allow him to get paid and not publicly receive credit, he can do that. He can do that. But as far as new music, merchandise, products, no.
Okay, I get what you're saying, but it's
different.
It's a little different, and I'm not sure how much he's into that.
I don't know either. I don't know.
That's my only thing. I don't know how much he'd be into that.
But I know if he's a studio rat, his boys are going to look out for him, right? But it's like, okay, you can't post this on social media, right? Here's the check, but I can't put you on the credits. Or whatever that process is, I mean, people, you want to get your ASCAP and BMI royalties or whatever, but there's maybe he creates another company right under a different name so he can't get his royalties.
That is true. There are some ways around it.
Right. But as far as Travis Scott has a new song, Travis Scott featured, Cactus Jack merchandise, no.
You know what? Now that you say that, I'm just gonna hope that there's no how you say it, but stray that go and like hit my man Don Toliver, because I really like him. Every time I hear him, it's like he's the person or he's one of those people that I listen to and I like everything they do, but I don't listen to their music. And I heard him on a Masego song. And I loved it. I was like, oh, it's like you do that thing really good, like the thing that you're really good at. So I would just hope that the rest of his acts don't really get affected from it, because part of the thing of being on Cactus Jack is you got Travis Scott, and that's just kind of like hurting the thing that Cactus Jack is about. So it's gonna be tough. I'm hoping the best for everybody in the situation. Thoughts and prayers to all the families. Hopefully everybody's able to get well that's got hurt. Absolutely. And hopefully everybody that's in the situation, because you got to think about Travis Scott is an economy. He's a man, but he's an economy. And you got a lot of people who are eating every day and providing for their families because they work for Travis Scott. Yeah. And so I am just hoping the best for everyone that's involved.
Yeah, we'll see if he files bankruptcy. And moving on.
Man, I hope it don't get to that. So, all right. So now that we got these vegetables out the way, Travis had to take a loss, but it's time to talk about the winning.
Yes.
And you know what? Before we get into that, we're gonna take a quick break. And then we're going to talk about everybody who won in 20. Well, not everybody.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. But we're going to talk about some real winners that we like, some notable things, and just give y'all a little insight on that. So we'll be right back after this. You know, maybe if I could talk, I could get to the break. And we are back. Once again, this is Marketing for the Culture. I am CL Palmer. Once again with Michelle Gomez. And in this segment, we are going to talk about winning.
Yes.
You know, I don't do a good Charlie Sheen impression, but if you could imagine me saying it like Charlie Sheen, winning.
Bringing it back.
You know, that's some OG internet shit stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like everybody remembers the winning memes. That he might have been an original meme, like between him and Michael Jordan. Oh. I don't know who. You know what? I'm gonna have to go just do the research. But somebody tell me, you might get a T-shirt. Even though this is pre-recorded, and I'm probably gonna have the answer before you hear it. So. But that sounded good. But the reason why we want to talk about winning is because this coming up Tuesday, November 16th, 2021 at 7 o'clock Eastern, we are going to be hosting, this might turn into an annual thing, but we're just going to call it the inaugural AAMA winning event this year. We're going to call it We're All Winning, because we want to celebrate the wins of everyone in the community.
Absolutely.
And all the wins, not just the big ones, but the small ones, the ones that took another step to get you another brick laid on that foundation to making your success house, or whatever you want to call it in that metaphor. But we want to celebrate everybody who did any kind of winning. You know, I mean, even if you got to help your kids get your grades up, like, hey, in a pandemic and you working, that's a win. You deserve to be recognized. So all the wins, just come pull up. If you do not see it in the link, I will say it is not in the show notes, excuse me. It's bit.ly or bit.ly/AAMA wins. That's AAMA wins. Very simple to find. You'll find the sign up. It's gonna be via Zoom. Seating is limited, of course. So first come, first serve. Definitely want all the members to come out, but the whole entire community. So podcasters, creators, marketers, entrepreneurs, you know, sidepreneurs, professionals. We want everybody to pull up. We want to have a nice, diverse crowd, because we want to talk about how everybody is winning and why that winning means something.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's so important to acknowledge people, right? So we're trying to acknowledge you, and that way you can, you know, highlight your wins. Everyone says entrepreneurship is lonely, and it doesn't have to be. So that's why we have AAMA. That's why we're a community. So come hang with us. Tell your wins, tell your stories, and you can tell your challenges, and we can work through that as well. But we want to celebrate you.
You know, you said something right there. Not to get up too far off subject, but I am an entrepreneur myself, and I don't really want to have a job just for the steady check, but I kind of do miss kicking it with coworkers and just having stuff to talk about, and you know, just doing that little mingling and networking, and just you know, you learn so much sometimes from just the smallest interactions, because you learn about, you know, of course, like things you could do, life hacks, whatever, but more importantly, you learn about people.
Right.
And that always sharpens your tools. So I do miss that part, but I don't miss having somebody to tell me what to do. So I'm not gonna front. It's just like, you want me to show up when? I gotta get up at what time? What?
Yeah, it's hard. I was supposed to go to a gala this evening, and I bought the ticket like 3 months ago, and I was like, I ain't going, But I'm gonna go networking in the morning. I'm gonna go get some coffee in the morning and network. But you definitely have to find that balance as an entrepreneur. Yes. So I get it.
And I know I'm gonna do some more networking as well. I just need to stop working, baby, and then I can have time to talk to people. This is gonna be a good excuse for me to really get in touch with some people. I got a few homies. Shout out to that boy Boss Locks. Wall Gainer. He's he gonna bring the party with him, and I'm trying to get a few of my other homies who are doing some things in some other lanes, and I would just love for them to just come in and contribute. So this ain't one of those NBA All-Star weekend where we have special invited guests. I'm not going to hype up all my celebrity friends. It's not one of those things. This is for the community, for the culture. And y'all want to have a good time, please pull up. You want to have your sip, please have your sip. We want to have you a victory cigar. You are more than welcome. We are in a judgment-free zone.
Yes, I love it.
Come as you are. You know, and if you want to be seen, wear your merch. We might be doing some little recording. I ain't gonna say everything is gonna be recorded or released, but we gotta capture some things because this is gonna be something cool. So come show out. If like I said, merch, polos, whatever you feel like you're comfortable in, just do. So again, November 16th, 7:00 Eastern. 6:00 Central if you in the H. And man, I hope I see y'all there. All right. So with that said, let's talk about some of these winners that we were discussing before this podcast started recording. And we had Kev on stage do some real big things. You had Issa Rae sign a big deal. And they kind of all go under this umbrella of creator economy. And I think we could just say it, the creator economy is the biggest winner of all in 2021. If you were making things, you got paid this year. Right. This was your time to strike. The gold rush is on, and you better have your pick, and you better get out there and get your face dirty. That's all I'm gonna say. So who you want to start with?
I think the crazy thing is I don't even know Kev on stage. I don't know Issa Rae, but I'm so proud of them because
absolutely.
I think we, as a fan, as a consumer of content or a creator, I think we've been privileged to see their journey. And for them to start off on YouTube and they have production deals and apps and they're taking matters into their own hands is just amazing. So shout out to both of them because they laid the blueprint. But I want to start with Kev on stage.
Okay. We talked about him before.
Yeah, very, very impressive young man. And I think what has stood out as I've gotten more invested in him is so part of this is 2020 and 2021, but obviously when the pandemic happened, when he got comfortable, he started the Keep Your Distance comedy show, right? I just think the pandemic allowed him to be very, very creative on how he can remain a comedian and a content creator. And then fast forward, he released his app, Kev on Stage Studios, right? Which I think is probably, I would like to assume, one of the biggest content creator things you could do.
I mean, like, if you say how many comedians have apps, I don't even have a list for you. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start. This is the first time I'm ever hearing it. Like, if somebody else is doing this, then somebody send me a clip or a link or something. But this is the first time I could ever remember hearing that a content creator who's a comedian as their main thing is in the applications.
Right.
This is a whole new ball game.
Right.
Like,
right.
Shouts out to him. Shouts out to that whole team. Everybody out there working with Kev.
And he's still doing his shows. He's on tour. And then he has the content for the app, which is not just him, but, you know, obviously friends, producers, and other people that he's partnered with. And when I listen to his interviews, and I think the biggest thing is, it's like, one, you kind of just get tired of people telling you, no,
right,
you're not ready. And it's like, okay, how can I take matters into my own hands? And what does that look like? And then work towards that.
And I like his direction. See, I if I was him, I would be trying to get my own projects financed and get it made and then shop the project. But I think they're trying to shop him, which is a little different, because when you're trying to get a development deal, you really got to get somebody to believe in you. But when you got a piece already put together, and I feel like he probably could do this, but I'm just talking about me. I would probably go that route, but I love the moxie. I love the fact that he's like, yo, y'all don't believe in me. I believe in me. And I'm gonna show you how much I believe in me by going straight to my consumers.
Right.
Like, I don't even need a channel to go to my consumers. They love me, and they're showing their appreciation every single month.
Right.
So I really can't be mad at that.
It's wild. It's wild. And I mean, obviously they bought, or, you know, renting, whatever the case may be, the actual studio, the office space that they have. And so it's just been really incredible seeing him and the vision. Just, I don't know, it's amazing. It's just amazing watching from a distance. So I can't even imagine what his family and friends think of him right now. It's just incredible.
And I guess to transition, he's kind of the opposite of what Issa Rae is doing.
Yeah.
Because Issa Rae had the content, but I think her early content was just that strong. That you could see. Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. On a YouTube scale, those are bangers. Like, every episode is a banger. Like, you don't get production value or even writing like that. You know, It was, of course, not everybody is super great at acting. The first episode was real basic, but then of course she got the money up, and for her to turn that and the book and the Awkward Black Girl movement into this Warner deal, which is reportedly worth around $40 million for 5 years. I know, I'm sorry to step on your factoid, but like, that right there just tells me that there's a lot of ways to go about it. But I think if you want to get with HBO, you want to get with Warner, you gotta hit them in the mouth from jump.
I think the beauty with Issa Rae, when I think back of Awkward Black Girl, it's like you immediately see the potential she had. Yeah. So it was like, she did all of this on $1? Well, she about to blow it out the water if we give her a million, you know? And even though you can see that immediate potential, of course, we got to see her growth, but sister just had it. She just had it. And I remember, because we're close in age, and I still feel like and that's the thing, like, there's so many Black women that, like, I'm that awkward Black girl, like. So if we felt that way, you know, 10, 15 years ago, it's like we've literally grown up with her, and like we still have that awkwardness. We're still struggling. We're still rapping in the mirror. We still have that one friend. We still have that one.
Right. No, that's real.
Yeah, I'm right there with her after all these years.
Yeah, and I will say because of Insecure, especially that she has become almost like a symbol
Mm-hmm.
for a, like you said, for that certain type of black girl, just not not quite in the same place that as everybody else is. And
Yeah.
I think that brand has it's grown, but it's also changed a little bit. And I kind of saw it like after season 2. Issa was wearing her hair a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, it's the Afro puff ain't doing it no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's that thing got to get laid down. Okay, I see what's going on here. So we entering some new rooms. Okay, noted. And I like the fact that she has turned that movement or mobilized that movement, and just now it's going to be into the Issa Rae universe.
Mm-hmm.
Because it says she had about like 14 different shows in development,
Yeah.
which is a lot.
That is a
Like,
lot.
that's a lot of different things. I'm wondering, like, are all of them going to be on HBO Max?
But if you followed her YouTube channel, she had well, if you followed her YouTube channel, she would release short films
Mm.
on her YouTube page, right? So it's going to be really interesting because as she has grown, evolved, and her platform has expanded, I know a lot of us have fallen in love with the character of Issa Rae / Issa D. So I think as she continues to grow and she becomes more behind the scenes, it's going to be interesting if that same following will remain with her throughout all of these shows. Because Awkward Black Girl has millions of views, but some of her other films on her YouTube
Mm.
channel, produced and directed by other people, don't get that same kind of love as far as numbers are concerned. So it's going to be interesting how her success evolves with this new production deal.
I'm I'm curious to see how the comedy stuff is going to be. Like, I wasn't really too interested in Sweet Life. I'm not a big reality show person, and I'm definitely not a big reality TV show of people who are like 10 years younger than me, who don't really have any life experience but got money. So like, that's it's like, it's just not interesting. Nothing about that right there is compelling. But I understand that it's for the streaming audience who don't have cable, and this is the type of thing that they watch. Um
You,
but what you about to say?
but you said something about how her comedy's going to turn out.
Right. So she has a show just been announced called Rap Shit.
Uh-huh.
And I'm curious to see how the comedy translate across different type of avenues, because Insecure is an extension of Awkward Black Girl. So this kind of the lane she's been in. And then the unscripted thing is a whole nother animal. You kind of just calling the shots. Now we about to do a song. I'm guessing it's gonna be about rap stuff, because there's a lot of funny things. And if anybody's watched the show Atlanta, you see Paperboy getting a lot of hijinks and everything that goes
Yeah.
with him. So I could see a different setup and that turning into something. But I'm curious to see the execution when it's not for her per se. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. And I guess I was going to stop you earlier because I'm like, Insecure is a comedy.
It is, but it's a comedy about Issa.
Okay.
So I'm curious, like you said, like how these collaborations going to go. Like I'm really curious to see that too as well, because that's going to tell me how much of a influence she is in the writing room. If every time she touches something, this thing is a go. You
Yeah.
know, of
Yeah,
course,
that's
name is gonna take it anywhere, but Still
but
gotta get.
it's allowing people to stay. And I was watching the interview she did a while back with Regina Bell, Regina King, forgetting her last name, but 227 Poetic Justice. Um, and Regina was saying Issa Rae is Shonda Rhimes and Kerry Washington combined. And yeah, right. I was like, that's good. That's good. But I think Issa's ready to get in her Shonda bag, her Shonda skills. So it will be interesting to see how the fans stick beside her on this journey.
I need to see her do some more acting before I can say that.
Yeah, like, and she has a couple of things.
Cause like I've seen Kerry Washington like get in her bag. Now I'm a little biased because Django is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm just a tad bit biased, but she got some work on her resume, and so I see what she's getting at, but yeah. I'm just like can I get a comma on that thing? Like just a little pause.
Issa got some movies under her belt. It's gonna be interesting.
Look, this is not the entertainment podcast, so I don't even want to get into that. We probably have another 30 minutes. So right. I just want to talk about the win. We're gonna talk about wins. So shout out to Issa.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Kev on stage. Y'all are two examples for really winning in 2021. And kind of just to wrap things up, like we said, the creator economy is really the big winner because Kev is somebody who came up off social media. Mm-hmm. Issa came up off YouTube, which is basically social media. And now you have people getting lots of money on TikTok and Instagram from advertisements. Apple and Spotify got paid podcast subscriptions. We're going to keep giving you marketing for the culture for free. Don't worry about ever getting charged for this podcast. It'll be free forever. And hopefully y'all don't force my hand and make me have to charge for it, because if it gets to that point, we'll let you know. But yes, that, and I mean, even like the podcast advertising technology, like the big thing with digital ad insertion across platforms, Spotify, I think Buzzsprout has a few things, and there's even like a few applications that I've just heard about, but there's so much into the enterprise level that nobody below is even talking about this stuff. And so it'd be kind of like irrelevant for me to talk about it. But on the enterprise side of things, like podcasting is doing great. Like they are killing it right now. And the technology is a big part. So if you're not listening, like just pay attention to the ads in some of your favorite podcasts over the next few weeks and see if they sound just a little bit different than they had before. I promise you they will, because I've noticed a slight change, and let me say, it's not subtle, but it's subtle, if that makes sense. But I don't know, out of those, or is there anything else that you found like from the creator economy that really caught your eye from this year? Oh my gosh.
Besides me missing out on this YouTube money. Now, I think the platforms have opened wide. Like, yeah. I think you just create content, become consistent, select a platform and go for it. And people will find you, right? Or, you can pitch yourself to whomever, because people need content. I don't care if it's podcasting, TV, radio. These machines don't work without content. So keep creating and producing the content. And it's amazing. It's just an amazing time right now.
It's so much money out here. And it's so much money out here that for somebody like me, it's frustrating to know that my skills are probably like in the middle of where everybody is and what I bring to the table. I'm not top tier, but I'm definitely in the middle. Like I know that for a fact. I don't tell myself I'm in the middle. I tell myself I'm on the top. But I know realistically, if I wanted to jump out here, I would be a mid-tier person. And I have to start from the bottom. Like everything that I'm doing is starting from the bottom. I'm doing podcasts right here. I'm, making videos for different people. I got a few brands I'm trying to get off the ground. I got some merch that I got. Everything that I'm doing is of high quality, but I gotta start from the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think that's a frustrating thing for people like me. Now, some people have no expectations, and I love that because you just like, I'm just gonna do something today. It's like, God bless you. I wish I had that. I wish I could just be like, yo, I don't even care what my lighting is like. I'm just gonna turn the camera on and talk. Like, no, where is my light? It's right here. It's here. Like, come on, man. Like, I can't do anything without it being correct. Am I going to record this on the Zoom, or am I going to turn my camera around and try to do it in 4K? I'm gonna try to do it in 4K every time.
Yeah.
Like I just can't take substandard. And we talked about this, having that standard of content, because we like high quality stuff. So when you make it, it's got to be high quality. But I know I'm gonna do what I have to do going forward. I'm gonna be consistent. Y'all gonna come get this podcast right here every week. And hopefully we can get a part of this economy. Everybody needs to get some of this creator economy money. It's a lot out here. Let's collab. Let's work together. Yes. We need to join some units, have some affiliated networks.
Yes.
Because I think everybody looks at the individual accounts. But if you are able to bring together multiple accounts, like even though you're not going to get the advertisement stuff without the 10,000 on Instagram, you could be a collective and you could get some deals. You might be able to charge a little bit, and even if y'all just charging 500, if it's 5 of y'all, that's $100 a head. I mean, yeah, somebody might have more than the other, but is that what we're doing, or are we trying to get some money? So
right. Yeah. Like, I mean, I say it all the time. Like, I'd rather have, 50% of something with people, especially now. Right. I want to enjoy the process of making money with people that I like versus 100% of nothing. Right. And lots of times our community, we get so caught up in ownership. You want to start something because you want to be CEO, entrepreneur, sexy. But if you have 100% of nothing, what sense does it make when I can partner with CL? I'm like, all right, hey, I need help with this. Let's get this money. I'm going to pay you. We're going to split it down the middle. Or what if we do 40-40 and then we save 20, right? We reinvest the other 20%. So we have to collaborate.
I will say that in 2021, not 2021, but 2022 and going forward, you're going to see a lot of smaller influencers. They're going to get swept up by an agency, and I put that with air quotes. But I think there's going to be some agencies or representation or network. There's going to be some things popping up where they're going to be like, you could join us and we're going to set it up to get you brand deals. Like, we just going to be the middleman and we just going to book it all for you. And I think it's going to be a bunch of those. And I think a lot of people going to get hurt in the process. I hope not, but I know how these things go, and people don't read on the internet.
It's brand deals. That's like the new manager. Like, and I used to do work in the entertainment business, right? So artists that need managers, it's like, yeah, I need you to, or a booking agent. I want you to handle these contracts. I want you to book a show for me. So anyone that can come in and like, okay, I can manage your brand deals. That's just the new wave of management right now.
Yeah, it's the new way. It's the new record deals coming out. We gonna get all your back royalties and
right.
Just get your lawyers and read. Just read it. I'm like, please, everybody, 2022. If you can't afford LegalZoom or anything like that, get with your bar association. They got some pro bono places out here. Get with the schools. The schools be doing a lot of stuff. People that need practice. I know the trademark office work with schools. I'm sure they have something in there for the business schools. So
I know a couple of attorneys we should interview for the podcast to talk about brand deals and influencer contracts. I think that would be a good topic.
Yeah. So moral of the story, don't be a loser in the creator economy. Be a winner and read your contracts. Each and every word. If you give somebody a piece of content and they own it in perpetuity and they can just put it on anything, you are not going to get to do anything with that content ever again, no matter how viral it goes after you sign it over.
It's so much.
I've heard some things and I've heard some stories. Lord.
So oh my God.
It's already bad, but it's about to get worse.
There's so many directions we can go in right now. But yeah.
I know. But we want to talk about all these. We want to celebrate the winning, but we got to keep it real too. We gotta be big bro and big sis and tell all our young creators out there that's they dancing and doing their thing. Hey, just read first. That's all I'm gonna say. Just read it. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? Want to give it a mention? I know we got Dallas Digital Summit coming up.
Yes, Dallas Digital Summit, December 8th and 9th in Dallas, Texas. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be really good conference. Also, we kicked off our giving campaign where our goal is to raise $20,000 by the end of the year. So we're asking marketers, listeners, peers, supporters, if you can donate $20, that will go a long ways. If you donate $100, we will put your name or company name on our donor wall, on our website, social media, all that good stuff. And if you're a company and you want to sponsor, or you want to give a little bit more and see what you can get back as a sponsor, hey, glad to have that conversation with you. But that is the goal. And the donations will pretty much maintain the operation, the organization throughout next year, keep the podcast going. That's like bare minimum, running on bare minimum, right? So we need your support, and please donate, preferably $20. But whatever you can is great. So you can go to our website, aa-ma.org/giving-campaign. So you can go to our website, click the tab Giving Campaign, and make your donation. And that link will also be in the show notes.
Absolutely. And as you heard right there, it's going to be part to make this podcast keep going. So if you want to feed some babies, my babies ain't starving, but they be hungry. So you just want to keep them fed. You just keep the babies fed. You just get to the giving campaign.
Now you got to get the baby out the bed and like put them right there. Gotta pull on the heartstrings.
Man, look, I cannot do anything with the twins in my hand. Like they're like octopus. Like they have 2 arms, but it's like they have 6 each. It's ridiculous. I can't deal. Like
you got to pull on those heartstrings. I'm like, oh yeah, they do need help.
Look, I would just have all my kids in here if that was the case. Like I could just fill the room up. Like but like it is what it is.
We doing good, y'all. We doing good.
Yeah, we all right. Like I said, they're not starving, and just keep them fed. That's all we try to do. That's it. But if nothing else comes to the top of mind, yes, y'all please give to the campaign that's going on. We got to keep I'm on track. But I do not have anything further. I do. I lied. The Podtax merch store is live on Shopify and on Facebook. Instagram is being lame right now, so they don't want me to be great. They don't want me to have a bigger pool than Kanye. Straight up. That's how I feel about Instagram right now. But that's a whole nother subject. But yes, you can get the Podtext merch right now. I'm gonna try to have it on podtext.com, but y'all just hit the Facebook page and just at CL Pod Gang, and we trying to get the podcasters straight. We're not quite Nike, but I feel like we're gonna be the Nike of podcasters.
Okay.
At the end of the day, that's the goal. So. That's all I have. And on behalf of Michelle and myself, we thank you all for listening to Marketing for the Culture. It's been a blast. I hope y'all had a blast listening and picked up on a few jewels.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week. We out here. Peace.
Thank you for listening to Marketing for the Culture podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe, whether it's on Apple, Google, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. And of course, our videos are on YouTube. If you have a moment, feel free to give us a rate, review, or just comment. We appreciate our sponsors for their continuous support. Also, if you're interested in learning more about our sponsors or becoming a member of the African American Marketing Association, visit aa-ma.org.